The mistake wasn't desire, but the urge to outrun an unnamed ache. And in the end, every escape returns you to the truth you tried to leave behind.
There's a moment, maybe in the quiet after a betrayal, or in the hollow space between two unread messages, when you realize something nobody ever said out loud. Some people don't cheat because they want more. They cheat because they feel like less. If you've ever been on either side of betrayal, you know this truth in your bones. You know that cheating doesn't begin in a bedroom. It begins in a mind that cannot sit with itself. Picture this: a person lying awake next to someone who loves them, yet feeling an ache they can't name. An emptiness that scratches from the inside. A restlessness that grows louder every time their life becomes quiet. And then it happens, not with a plan, not with an intention, but with a crack in their identity. A moment where they feel wanted, admired, or seen, and something in them whispers, "Take it. This is the version of you the world doesn't get to see. This is the version that hurts less." Here lies the paradox. The person who cheats isn't running toward pleasure. They're running away from themselves. The thing that once protected them, emotional detachment, compartmentalization, the fantasy of being someone else, is now the thing quietly destroying everything real in their life. To understand the psychology of cheating, we must understand the architecture underneath it, the blueprint formed long before adulthood, long before desire, long before the betrayal. Cheating at its core is a coping strategy, not a personality type, a response, not a defect, a symptom, not the disease. Let's break down the psychological foundations. Number 1, the fantasy self-split. Many people who cheat live with a concept called self-fragmentation. Two selves inside the same body. The self they show the world, and the self they secretly believe they are. The affair becomes a bridge between them, a temporary escape into a version of themselves that feels more alive, more desired, more enough. Number 2, emotional neglect schema. A powerful concept from schema therapy. When someone grows up emotionally unseen, unheard, or unvalidated, they develop a belief that love must be chased, earned, or stolen. Their nervous system learns to equate intensity with intimacy. Calmness feels unfamiliar. Security feels suspicious. Number 3, avoidant attachment and hyper-compartmentalization. Avoidantly attached individuals fear true closeness, so they create parallel emotional worlds. They hide, compartmentalize, divide their identity into sections they never let touch. Cheating fits perfectly into this architecture, a room in the psyche untouched by real vulnerability. Underneath all these concepts lies one truth. People cheat because they cannot regulate the emptiness, shame, or fear inside them. So they outsource that regulation to someone else's attention. Cheating is not simply an action. It is a fracture, not just in a relationship, but in the self. And the emotional cost is far deeper than guilt. Because after the rush, the validation, the temporary escape, something else appears. The grief of seeing the kind of person you are capable of becoming. Carl Jung once wrote, "No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell." Cheating forces a person face to face with those roots, the parts of themselves they've spent their whole life outrunning. There is a specific loneliness here, a strange paradoxical suffering. They betray someone else, but end up betraying themselves more. And the fear that drives all of this. It's rarely fear losing a partner. It's the deeper fear. If someone sees who I really am, they will leave. So they try to live two lives, two identities, two realities, two truths. But maintaining two selves is an exhausting performance. It drains joy from daily life. The constant vigilance, the lies, the rehearsed stories. the fear that any moment will collapse both identities into one unbearable truth. And beneath it all lies the invisible grief, the grief of knowing you've wounded the very person who believed you were safe. Childhood wounds don't disappear. They evolve. They disguise themselves as adult problems. Here's how they show up in people who cheat. Number 1. In relationships. You might feel trapped when someone loves you too deeply. You crave intensity, but struggle with consistency. You fear being truly known, so you hide behind performance or charm. Number 2. In career. They become adults who chase validation through achievement and need admiration like oxygen. They become someone who collapses internally when praise stops. Number 3. In self-worth. You might feel disposable, even when someone chooses you. You may mistake attention for affection and feel alive only when desired. Number 4. In boundaries. You will often find yourself saying yes to everything to maintain an image, to avoid conflict until everything implodes. Number 5. In emotional regulation. They become adults who can't sit with boredom, who mistake inner emptiness for needing excitement and rely on external stimulation to feel grounded. Number 6. In internal identity. You might feel like you're playing a role instead of living a life, like you fear the quiet moments where your real self resurfaces. You live in permanent emotional scarcity, terrified there isn't enough love to go around. But here's the turning point. None of this means you are doomed. It means you are wounded. And wounds can be understood, held, and healed. The unlearning begins when you stop shaming yourself and start witnessing yourself. You cannot fix a shadow by ignoring it. You heal it by turning toward it. Healing from the psychology of cheating, whether you were the one betrayed or the one who betrayed, requires meeting the wound beneath the behavior, not the symptom, the origin. Here's where the real transformation begins. 1. Inner child reparenting. Rebuilding the ability to feel safe with your own emotions, learning to sit with discomfort instead of escaping into fantasy or danger. 2. Shadow work. Facing the parts of you you're ashamed of, the need for admiration, the craving for intensity, the fear of stability. You bring them into the light not to judge them, but to understand them. 3. Nervous system regulation. Most people who cheat cannot regulate loneliness or boredom. They need external stimulation to stabilize. Breath work, somatic grounding, stillness tolerance. These are not spiritual buzzwords. They are psychological foundations for integrity. 4. Choosing softness over survival mode. The moment you stop proving your worth and start living your truth, the impulse to escape begins to dissolve. No affair, no thrill, no validation will ever match the quiet power of being able to sit with your own heart and not run from it. The philosopher Rilke said, "Perhaps everything that frightens us is, in its deepest essence, something helpless that wants our love." The part of you that cheats, or the part of someone who hurt you, is helpless in this way. Not evil, not monstrous, helpless. It wants love, safety, integration, wholeness. And that is the point we end on. The goal is not to be fixed, but to become whole. If this resonated, if it helped you understand something you've been struggling to name, consider sharing it or subscribing. Thank you for watching.